with your pheromones and butterflies, your faith, those lips that kiss, your firm but tender touching, all that good stuff. Broke through, swept the dust off my capability to see me again. Helped me make space for the healing to begin. Gave me this dope and exciting invitation. Grabbed my heart in hand and wanna tell you how I love you. Wanna tell you how I feel when we make love. Wanna write you a sexy poem.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna try to deal with this story without getting emotional. I guess now is really not the time for emotion. It's really more of a time for action. Fight or flight. What I mean is there's so much death going on, so much violence going on. It's just a bit much. And as someone who left alone, left unprovoked, get the hell out of my face and let me be free. I don't want to fight with anybody. I'm going to go fishing. I'm going to go surfing. I'm going to drink and smoke, hang out on the beach, build what I need to build, destroy what I need to destroy. But mostly I'm just looking at pull versus push. Like there's things that are pulling me to do what I want to do instead of just fighting against the things that I don't want to do. And that's a big part of psychology that we really, I think, need to take a look at. It's sad that a lot of our energy and time and emotions and energy is spent pushing against a lot of crap instead of doing what we really ought to be doing or want to be doing or are driven spiritually to do. So this story here, I do have a special place in my mind for members of the military for the most part. And I'm not even really sure why, because I was in the military for 5 years and that was pretty much enough for me. I felt like I was 50-50. I was right on the line of whether I wanted to stay in and maybe do 20 years and retire, or just go ahead and get out and work in the corporate world and everything, the civilian world. So I guess what I'm saying is I didn't go in the military gung-ho at all. In fact, with less than 2 weeks before I went to the recruiting station, I was at an anti-war protest in Houston, Texas, at the Herman Fountain. Anybody who's from Houston, the fountain. I think it's a series. I haven't been there so doggone long, but that's my hometown, really. But I think there's 3 fountains. Isn't there like a series of 3 fountains? I might be true. I might be thinking of a whole different city. I've been living in different places, but I haven't lived in Houston for a while. Anyway, I joined, because I needed a job. I was an IT professional. I had a lot of knowledge. I didn't have a lot of experience. I had my certifications, and I thought I was well set to begin my career, but I couldn't find a job making any decent money. I was working in the NOC, the Network Operations Center, on the night shift, um, and I was making $8 an hour in 2003 with a baby and another one on the way. So I went down to the recruiting station and did the thing. But it wasn't gung ho. Like I said, just for a job. And boot camp sucked for me. I was older. I had knee injuries already, But I mean, it's not. God damn. It's not the hardest thing in the world. It's not Navy SEAL training or a super marathon or ultra marathon or anything like that. You can definitely get through it. Anybody can get through Navy boot camp, I think. Uh, but it wasn't as easy for me as some of the younger folks. Um, I went in about 10 years later than most people go in. Um, and something happened. You want to know what happened, man? There is a teamwork that is formed and fostered. Now, I know that it's formed and fostered because that's the whole point, is they break you down. They want to tear down your divides. Whereas I say, I'm black and this is where I stop, and I'm a hippie or I'm a country and western rodeo type, or they want to tear all of that down and just have a division of recruits. And the way they do that is to kind of beat you down physically and mentally and emotionally. They'll find out about you pretty quick. They're, you know, I don't know how they train them. I never got into all that stuff about the recruiting, the RDCs. That's what they call like a drill sergeant. In the Navy, it's an RDC, recruit division commander. Uh, anyway, I remember they were telling me, like, you always have an excuse and you have no social skills. It was like unnecessary stuff just coming at me because I was older than everyone else. I was a little stronger mentally, I think. I already had more preconceived notions about the military and the government, and I don't know how they know, but they know what to say to get to you. They know what to do to get to you. And not that they spend their whole day singling people out. They beat you down. They try to simulate a prisoner of war type of scenario to make you guys think and act and fight as a team, as a unit. And I remember in boot camp, the hardest stuff for me, I'm going to tell you, the hardest thing for me was the IT, the intensive training. Um, you know, what is it? High intensive training. Whatever. I don't know why I can't say the word right now. But it's just where they just bump your heart rate up to a crazy level, just doing 8 count bodybuilders, burpees, jumping jacks, just everything, just one right after the other. You just don't get a chance to recover your heart rate and your breathing. That stuff's hard. It was hard. Um, but you know what really got to me was that detail. The Navy is about detail. They'll kill you with detail. And uh, our uniforms, we had to keep them a certain way, but we didn't get time to do that. I mean, we got time, but the time was we had to make our own time, which meant trying to run as fast as you can whenever they pulled out the sign-up sheet for the iron and the washing machines and all that. You couldn't just go and wash or iron your clothes whenever. There was only certain times whenever we weren't training. We were training all day long because it's boot camp. So then you train, then you have dinner, then you have other stuff, and then at some point it's time to go to sleep. But then there's a sign-up sheet, and if you're lucky, you get the time that you want, which is be like right after dinner, hopefully, and then you can go and take care of your uniform. Well, if you're not one of the first people to sign up, then you're going to get 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. So you got to set your alarm, or I think you would tell the guard on duty, which was another recruit, to wake you up. And they had a list of people and when to wake them up, and then you would go in there and you would have 15 minutes to iron your creases and all that stuff. And I couldn't do it. I was get so frustrated. I'd be rushing and I'd be just like, fuck, I've already spent 11 minutes and my uniform looks like crap, and it's 3 in the morning, and I remember people helping me, just getting my uniform straight. I'm just being honest, and no shame here. That was a big problem for me, was just getting my uniform straight. Not that I wasn't squared away in the sense that I wanted a clean uniform. I wanted to do what everybody else was doing, have the nice creases and all that. But I couldn't do it in 15 minutes, man. I had a hard time doing it in 15 minutes. And man, the people, my teammates, they helped me, man. And that's when it starts to happen. It wasn't, my bunkmate, he was on the top bunk. I was on the bottom bunk. I don't even remember his name. But I remember we helped each other out. And then and then it's just spread out, and then everybody's a team. That's how it happens. I would help other people with polishing their shoes, shining their shoes, or I'll be honest with you, I didn't help a lot of people in boot camp. Because a lot of that stuff was stuff you couldn't help people with. It was like that high intensity training. There's no way you can help somebody with that. But the other stuff, we helped each other out. And then you get to the ship and it just continues, and you're on one ship with 300 something other people, but you get to know them all, and you take a shit next to them. You shower. There's 5 showers, and there's no shower curtain, or they had clear shower curtains. I mean, sometimes they would even have white ones, but I mean, it was just, you're in there taking a shit and carrying on a conversation. It's just way different from when you get out into the corporate world and all that, So there's a camaraderie. There's a certain kind of feeling. And so now I'm not in the military anymore. But it's whenever you bring up the folks in the military, especially like the lower ranks, the folks that don't have any reason to come together for any political reason, they come together out of a need, versus when you get to be a higher rank, you have to work, and you no longer do things for your own motivations. When you become like a chief or an LPO, now you're taking care of people because that's your job. Okay? But when you're in a lower rank, you still take care of each other, but you don't do it because anybody really told you to. They don't tell you to take care of each other. I mean, they might, but it's irrelevant. Instead of telling you to, they just make it in such a way where you bond with people. So anyway, I said all that, man, and now I'm looking at this story here, and I've been following this story just a little while, a week or two. And I tell you, something ain't right about this story. A whole lot. It's just a whole lot ain't right about this story. I really just don't like. I don't like this story, man. Okay. This girl, Vanessa Gillen. I hope I'm saying it right. Vanessa Gillen was bludgeoned to death with a hammer in the armory room where she worked. Her body was transported from the military installation. They took her off base. Then called this woman here to help him dispose of the body after moving it off base. Okay, so then this woman, Cecily Aguilar, is the wife of a former soldier from Fort Hood. And she has been arrested by the Texas Rangers. She is in Bell County Jail awaiting civilian authorities to press charges. All right. I mean, I just... So this is the picture of the main suspect here. Aaron David Robinson. Now, I was in the Navy, so I don't know Army ranks. But he's a specialist. That's E4. That ain't shit. You go in the military, if you're not an officer, you go in as an E1, okay? If you don't, this is how it works. You go in as an E1 when you go sign up. I believe there's no way around that. Even if there are other ways to skip ranks. But when you go down there to MEPS, Military Entrance Processing Station, when you go down there, you are a civilian, and you go from civilian to boot camp, and now you are an E1. You start at the bottom. However, while you were in the process of signing up, there are some ways to skip E1, E2, I'm not sure if you can skip E3, but there are ways to skip rank. So you can go to boot camp as an E1, E2, E3. Depending on if you were in ROTC, for instance. If you there's different things that you could have done in high school or whatnot. And then when you get into boot camp, you can skip rank by scoring well on the tests in boot camp. Or scoring well in the academic side of boot camp. So my point is, I went in as an E3. What does that mean? It means I was a civilian, but before I finished boot camp, I was an E3. You know why I'm saying that? This kid right here is an E4. Okay, I was in the Navy 5 years. I was an E3 before I got to my ship. I went from boot camp to the USS Lassen, a guided missile destroyer. I went there as an E3. And this guy here, right here, He's an E4. So I don't know why they keep talking about this. I know the Army's different. I get that. I understand the Army's different. And hey, look, maybe you can't even do that. I doubt it, though. I would put money on it. I don't know. But I would put money that you can leave boot camp or basic training as something higher than E1. I'm pretty sure that the Army has that type of situation too, where you can leave boot camp and go to your first command as a E2 or E3, so on. So the fact that they're saying this guy is not, but also I know in the Army, your responsibilities are different. Okay, so an E4 in the Army is not the same as an E4 in the Navy. I got that. I understand that too. However, the story is just told kind of weird when they talk about him being a superior. I get a sense that it's like like the leader of the it's hard for me to talk in. I'm gonna just talk in Navy terms, okay? There's something called leading petty officer, just like your manager, your boss, leads the whole like the crew, like whatever your division is. Like if you're one of the IT folks, or if you're one of the firefighters, or if you're one of the engineers, like work on the engines. Each one of those has a leader. All right. I'm thinking if there's 15 people in a division, and you got an LPO that's in charge of those 15 people. See, why I'm making a distinction is there's leadership and there's just the troops, the crew. So what I want to know is this guy a leader or is he part of the crew? Because I get the feeling like I know there's more to this story. I put it like that. I know there's more to it. But I'm going to go with there's something here that's off. It's just off. I think this guy is disturbed. Like I don't think he got into a situation and then found himself caught up in it and then made a decision to kill her because he got caught up in it. Because that just doesn't fit the mold. I'm first hearing this story and I'm thinking this is more of a classic case. Everything's weird about this story. Yeah, it's weird. It's different. It's on an army base. But I'm still thinking that this is a someone in power abusing their power and authority, which still could be the case. But I'm just not getting that vibe. I don't have any backing or reason for saying that. But hey, everybody's got their own vibe, their own feelings, and they got a right to it. And I'm just saying that I don't feel like this guy is in a strong position of leadership. He's an E4, and the fact that he bludgeoned her to death. Now, they said that her face was so badly beaten that they could not at first identify her. It says her lawyer told CNN on Sunday that Gillen could not be identified by her medical records because her face had been beaten so badly. Something about it doesn't This seems more like somebody who was just really disturbed. And that doesn't change anything about how jacked up the situation is. The fact that it happened on the base, in the armory, in that's her workspace. According to this article, that is the room where she worked. And from what I understand, it's like each barracks has their own armory. Kind of like on my ship, there was one armory. So that's a crew. That's people she worked with. It's folks that knew each other very well. It's not like a ship. It's not like in the Navy. In the Army, you get to spread out more. The bases are bigger, and you can go off base. You can go when you're on a ship. You're just on a ship, and those are your 315 best friends, all cruising along with you. So I get the Army's a little different, but I just something ain't right. This story. There's gonna be some. It's gonna be some strange shit, I think, coming out with this story, and I hope to God that it's not a sick ass ring or group of sick ass people, sexual predators. It doesn't look like it. I don't get that feeling from this. You know, especially him being an E4. It just doesn't. It doesn't have the same feeling of an E. If they would have said this guy was an E7, you know, even maybe E6, E7, and on up, oh, definitely. It just has a different feeling then when you put it like that. It's like this son of a bitch, this bastard, this guy was abusing his power. He knew what he was doing. But the fact that this guy, the combination, I may be crazy, but for me, the combination of him being one, a black male, which I did not know until just now when I clicked on this article 30 minutes ago or whatever. Black male, E4, and he beat her to death. That combination, that points to that this guy he just wasn't right in the head. Something was wrong. Like he couldn't get a girl and he had weird issues. I bet he was a weirdo. Like he might have been a zombie like space cadet that couldn't have made it, couldn't function anywhere else in the Army and barely function in the Army. I don't know. I know we had a lot of them in the Navy. I'll be honest, we had a lot of folks in the Navy on my ship who were not right. They were not right in the head. Grown men eating boogers. Grown men just not bathing and just cannot take care of themselves. Going around, eating boogers and can't get a girl. Never 20 years old, 21, never had a girl ever. No, don't even talk to girls. All they do is look at anime. Like just fucked up people. And I hate to judge. I shouldn't say fucked up people, but people who really were barely functioning on the ship and really seemed like they could not function in real life. And there's a lot of them. You can function in the military because you got people that are telling you what to do and when to do it. And I don't know what they do when they get out there in the real world. So maybe he was one of them. However, there's a problem with all of that I just said. All I said about, I don't think he's somebody who's a high rank abusing power. He doesn't, but there's a problem with everything I just said. I'm about to throw it out the window because that soldier, that woman, that young woman, Vanessa Gillen, she said that there were people, plural, and she was going to file charges. There were more than one person that was harassing her, assaulting her. So now what? How in the hell does that fit in? What the hell is going on? What happened on Fort Hood, man? You know, and I hope, you know, it better not go any. It better be some crazy shit. It better be some weird shit. It better not be no damn. Two things. It better not be no damn quiet story where it goes away and it's just, oh, it was just blah blah blah. No, because this is not a normal story. So it better not just go away quietly.
Difficult to hear. A family attorney said that she was hit with a hammer in the armory room where she worked, and she was then dismembered. The main suspect in her disappearance was identified as Specialist Aaron David Robinson, and authorities say she was killed the day before she planned to file a harassment claim against him. Here's her sister.
How could this happen on military base? How could this happen while she was on duty? How could this just happen and then let it go under the rug like it was nothing?
Fort Hood officials said they weren't aware of reports of sexual harassment. Authorities say Robinson killed himself after police confronted him.
So he killed himself.
It's Mattress Firm's 4th of July sale.
So we'll never hear from him. Killed himself. Police were involved. Police tried to contact him, and then he killed himself. That's what we're told. Well, I tell you what. So I'm just gonna leave that there for now. But I tell you what. Another thing, I did not know that report I just put on that had her sister on there. They said she was, the news anchor just said that this soldier, Vanessa Gillen, was dismembered. Man, come on. And now look what I'm looking at right here. Look at this. What is her rank? See, I've been hearing this story. I haven't been following it too closely. I've been hearing all the details, but I haven't been digging. I've just been listening to the stories, but I haven't been digging. They were the same rank, man. This is some bullshit, because I've been hearing this story for a few weeks now, and they keep talking about how her superiors were assaulting her. Okay, and she said there was plural. So where's the other? Who's this other motherfucker? Why isn't he ended up the one guy ends up dead? And now I'm not seeing anywhere in this story. This is Sunday, July 5th. This is today. Look at this. You see my clock here. Today is Sunday, July 5th, 2020. This shit just came out at 9:22 Eastern, Sunday, July 5th, 2020. Now, I don't see anywhere in this story any mention of anybody else. I've been hearing for weeks that there was multiple people involved. Now, this guy's dead, and I don't see a mention of anybody else. What the hell? Y'all better... Tell you what, I hope they get to the bottom of this thing, man. I don't know the Army. I know some people that are in the Army. I was with somebody last night that's active duty at Fort Hood. The only thing that person said to me is a whole lot of shit going on at Fort Hood. That's what I heard. So I hope they get to the bottom of this one, man. It better not go quiet, because it's one black E4 is now dead. This story better not die. Oh man, I'm gonna get me a beer.
Make you feel it down below to the heavens above. So here I go.
Unwind a little bit.
Now I truly know what it's like to be held captive in passion's throes. It's like a sweet and pure and nasty, naughty addiction that you don't need or want to kick. That kind where, as soon as you get a hit, you crave another fix. I mean, not cause it ain't enough, cause actually, sometimes it's too much. But damn, it's so good. So good, so good. Be my pusher, man. I mean, could you always be my lover? Cause I've discovered, now that you've traversed and etched your name on my body, there will never be another. There ain't never gonna be no.
In these unprecedented times, businesses are forced to adapt and change to the.
So, in other news, apparently there's a musician. I think he's an entertainer. I don't know if you call him a rapper or hip hopper. Is he a musician? Is he an actor? Is he a basketball player? I don't really know much at all about this guy. And I don't know why. I don't know why I don't know much about him. I don't know anything about this Kim Kardashian West. I mean, I know he's as far as I know, he's a rapper, you know, musical artist. And he's shown some support for Trump. You see him there with the MAGA hat on.
How could you like Trump? He's racist. Well, if I was concerned about racism, I would have moved out of America a long time ago.
That's a good point.
Trump is on his hero's journey right now, and he might not have expected to have a crazy motherfucker like Kanye West run up and support, but best believe we are gonna make America great.
Yeah, so you know, like I said, I really don't know anything
So
about
would you always be my lover? And
but I mean, I guess I've never listened to his music. I've never don't get me wrong, I like a lot of different types of music. I like rap. I really like the gangster rap, like, you know, NWA, Ice Cube, you know. X-Clan. X-Clan was my shit. I still love X-Clan. But I've just nothing has ever said, let me click on this dude. I just see a lot of a lot of extra stuff, and nothing has ever told me this is some music you should check out. Nothing ever made me want to go click on it. So it might be great. I know a lot of people love his music. Some people say he's a musical genius or genius. I don't know. But in this day and age, man, I don't see anything good coming out of this. I see just tricks and tactics galore. The guy's wearing these goofy ass truck driver hats. The guy's talking about he supports Trump. He's talking about some race this and racist that or not racist. I see him as a confused person. It's coming from me, who has this is probably the only article I've ever read in which he was the subject. Okay, but he seems confused and confusing, and that is not what we need right now. And I can't see him doing anything regarding politics this year that doesn't add more confusion than he takes away. And, we know that a tyrant, a tyrannical government will use any confusion to their advantage. I mean, that's one of their biggest weapons, their biggest MO. Deceit, lies, chaos, confusion, chaos, and control. They create the chaos and confusion, then they bring in the control that you asked for, which ends up putting more chains on you. And the trick is, you asked for more chains to just relieve us from all this chaos. That big ass damn turtle. Sorry, y'all. I'm just distracted by this muff. God! Look at that neck! Oh, hell no. Hell no. Turtle, you peaceful and cool and all, but nothing with that old wrinkled ass neck gonna be anywhere around me. Oh, boy. Don't get me wrong. I could have turtles on my land. I'm just playing. I wouldn't mind having some turtles on my land, but that's some reptiles. Anyway. Yeah, so I don't like this one bit. I think Kanye West is a tool in the drawer of people we don't want and we don't like and we don't need. And I wish that shut up and dribble. I wish this dude would just shut up and rap or whatever the hell he does. Oh, boy. Let me look in my history and see what the hell else because I noticed there's stuff that I come across so much when we go to YouTube. Oh yeah, the Black Guns formation. I'm gonna talk about a couple more. I got a couple more topics for y'all. Just a couple more.
shit at the same time instead of walking around saying I'm the shit. But as soon you don't say that about the white man places when they throw your ass out. You don't say that about the Chinese place because you need your hair and your nails done.
Shoot to kill 'em. Kiss the poor, the farmer. Kiss the poor, the farmer.
Does everybody know who this is? Everybody that's watching this live stream, you need to know who this is. I mean, I've got. Wait, I said everybody who's watching this live stream. Let me rephrase that. Everybody who's on my YouTube channel, all of my subscribers, I hope y'all know who that guy is. His name is
and
Julius
you can feel like you
Malema.
the shit at the same time instead of walking around saying I'm the shit. But it's
And he is a leader of the Economic Freedom Fighters Party in South Africa. Now, South Africa, you know, is the southernmost country on the continent of Africa. And it has been ruled by white Dutch. I believe Dutch. Am I right there? Dutch or Belgian? Correct me if you want to. I don't think it really matters. I'm just going to say Dutch. And you probably have heard of Nelson Mandela and the African National Congress. And I guess you probably know that, and Mandela was in jail for 20-something years, and they let him out of jail, and he was subsequently became the leader of South Africa, of the whole country. He was the president or prime minister, or he was the supreme leader in the land. And he decided that it was good to make peace with his enemies. And instead of driving them out and redistributing the wealth and the land ownership, Nelson Mandela and the African National Congress, they basically left pretty much the status quo. In fact, you guys, have you ever heard of Soweto? There's been songs. I think Steel Pulse had a song called Soweto. Or maybe it was Third World. There was some reggae artist had a song called Soweto. And I thought Soweto was an African name. For years, I thought Soweto was some place in South Africa. No. Soweto, Soweto. I thought it was an African name. Oh yes, man, I am from Soweto. No. It's an abbreviation. Soweto, Soweto. Southwest Township. It was a slum where they put the African people, the people of South Africa, were forced to live in these townships, basically manufactured, created ghetto, slum confines. Almost concentration camps. Not quite. They could kind of come and go as they wanted to, But, Soweto's still there. Most of the people that lived there then still live there now. Granted, it's not all what you think. A lot of them sort of chose to stay there, and they're actually building it up. So now you're looking at Soweto becoming gentrified in a sense, as much as it could be gentrified. But yeah, they're saying, okay, we're gonna take whatever we got, we're gonna build it up, and we're gonna still come up, and so that's great. But my point is that Soweto was where these people were forced to live, and they lived very poor, very cramped, very unsanitary conditions. And for the most part, or in a lot of ways, it's the same thing going on. The white Dutch have the farmlands, they got the cows, they got the beautiful house on the hill, and they're still running shit. Because they still got the money. They got all the goddamn money. How the hell are you going to be in political power and got no goddamn money, and the opposition has all the fucking money? So anyway, this guy right here, he said, you know what? Fuck that shit. And he said, fuck it, we ain't playing.
Shoot to kill, shoot to kill 'em. Kiss the poor, the farmer. Kiss the poor, the farmer.
And they're not playing. They said, we're going to take this land back. They said, we're not fucking around. Which leads me to the next thing. Looks like there's a new game in town. Because these people here are not fucking around. And now you got some people over here.
Is the shit,
it's
and you can feel like
around.
you the shit at the same time instead of walking around saying I'm the shit. But as soon you don't say that about the white man places when they throw your ass out. You don't say that about the Chinese place because you need your hair and your nails done. When I was growing up, everybody knew how to do their own shit. It was always somebody in the hood that know how to cut hair. It was always somebody in the neighborhood that knew how to do nails. It was always somebody in the neighborhood that sold cigarettes and icebergs and candy lady. Y'all remember that shit? Now, if you go to the store and it ain't there, you just assed out. You have turned yourselves from producers. You've turned yourselves into nothing but consumers.
Yeah, this guy here. Check this shit out.
Come on now! Let's go!
Y'all know where they are? They're at Stone Mountain. Stone Mountain, Georgia is the largest relief sculpture in the world.
We got time for that. We don't give a fuck about that. Keep moving. That ain't my problem. My problem is right here.
I said it's the largest relief sculpture in the world. Look at this shit. Stone Mountain is not the birthplace of the Klan. It was the rebirth place of the Klan. It was the birthplace of the new Klan. They built Stone Mountain in the 1940s. I believe it was finished in 1940, somewhere around there.
Look at this shit. Don't look at me. I know what I look like.
There's a lot of people right there. Armed to the teeth. Fully automatic assault weapons. Semi-automatic assault weapons. Shotguns. Sidearms. Body armor. Men and women. Soldiers. Hey, that's what time it is. Who asked for this? Who made this happen? So, just like I said, they're not fucking around.
But consumers.
And yeah, you should know that face. You should know that name. And you should also know that they're talking. That's right. Julius Malema and people all over the world have been suffering the same bullshit. And now, people all over the world are finally realizing that it ain't about your country, Brazil. It ain't about your last name, Santiago. It ain't about your politics. It's the darker colored, the darker pigmented, the more melanated people of the entire fucking planet have been catching hell from the Caucasian race or sub-race, subspecies, what is it? Genus. You know, I don't know. I'm not a damn scientist. I don't know what the differences are. You know, and they say, the funny thing is, they say that there's more differences between people of the same so-called race than there are between people of different races. Meaning that 100% of your DNA, 100 out of 100, let's say 20% of your DNA is your thoughts and feelings and personality and propensity for love and or hate and all that kind of stuff. Your intellect, your heart rate, your blood pressure, your amount of mucus, size of your ears, size of your penis, size of your feet. When you're going to lose your hair, if you're going to lose your hair, if you are more likely to get cancer, all of these traits. They say that skin color is very small. Let's call it 1% of DNA. So let's say that I'm black and you are white. That if I wanted to do some kind of DNA exchange or transplant or something where the shit had to match up, I'm more likely to find somebody that's got 99% of my DNA the same, with that 1% is different, than to find somebody where the 1% is the same and the 99, or where the 1% is different and the 99% is the same. So that skin color is such a small percent of the information carried through our DNA. And it kind of makes sense if you think about it, because DNA is coded, and DNA is designed to be the be all and end all. Your propensity to get lighter and darker is even governed by your DNA. So the fact that you get lighter and darker based on your environment is a function of DNA, but it is not encoded so much in your DNA. So the fact that let's call it that 1% of DNA that governs your skin color also has to deal with environmental factors. So obviously you know that your DNA could be the same from January through July, but in January you're lighter than you are in July. So that sort of same thing happens over time, and your DNA will change, generationally speaking. Your DNA will change because your lighter people will thrive better in the higher altitudes and latitudes. Okay, so the ones that are darker are not going to synthesize vitamin D as efficiently, and eventually there will be a genetic or biological preference towards the light-skinned, less melanated people in these higher latitudes and altitudes. So you see that even there we've reduced the role of DNA in this whole skin color thing. So I understand all that. But still, something happened to where, we seem to have some differences based on how we mentally and emotionally react to our differences. So the fact whether it's biological or whatever, it's at this in 2020, it's not even relevant. The point is, we've gotten so far off track. If we would have stuck with science, this shit wouldn't have happened. But the white Caucasians, they did not stick with science. They rejected science, and they rejected today. That's why we have white. White is a made-up thing. Nobody's white. Nobody's black. This little sidebar next to the video, that's black. This thing down here is white. There are no humans at all that are black colored. And there are no humans at all that are white colored. Not on this planet. Not in this universe. Not that we know of. Not that we have ever heard of. And is color science? Let me show you. Is color science? Is it mathematics? Why, yes, the fuck it is. Well, what is black? Is this black? Man, actually, no. It looks black, but I know that black would be all zeros here. I know that white would be all Fs. Why F? Because it's hexadecimal. It goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E. F. Sorry, missed one. So this is not white because it's not all F's. So let's go to an actual, okay, yeah, here we go. F, F, F. What's that? What is that color? White. What is 0, 0, 0? Black. What does that tell you? This is science. It's mathematics. So how did we start thinking that we were 0, 0, 0 and they were F, F, F? Let's see, what is actually white? Let's see, what is white? You know, like flesh color. Maybe like this. Maybe this color here. I mean, that's not even a light-skinned white person, but it's damn sure not FFF. So anyway, even though this stuff has been made up and created, I mean, the question is why? Why did they create it? Why did they create whiteness and started calling themselves white and started calling some people black? It was for a reason. I can't think of any real good reason except for the one that they use it for. So why do we still to this day perpetuate this? In 2020, we call ourselves black and we call them white. And it's just not true. It's not scientific. It's scientifically wrong, inaccurate, incorrect. And y'all think that's a small thing. Y'all think I'm being silly. Y'all think I'm arguing about semantics. You think, oh, well, it's just a name we use. It doesn't matter. No, it does matter. It matters 100%. Because there's no reason at all for calling yourself white. There's no reason for making it up and perpetuating it. There's no reason to call yourself something that you're not. You might as well call yourself green. Why would you call yourself green? And if your fucking parents called you fucking green, why the fuck do you continue to call yourself green when you know you're not green? You know why? You don't. This is simple kindergarten stuff, man. People are dying over stuff that you should have learned in kindergarten. So, you know, whether it makes sense or not, we've gotten so far down this road that I don't know if the genie can be put back in the bottle. I mean, let me see if I can find this shit here. These motherfuckers. Where is that?
Wanna tell you that I love you. Wanna tell you how you've changed my life. Wanna write write you a long poem, make you feel every single word that I write. Wanna tell you how I love you.
Yeah, I was trying to
Wanna
find.
tell you how I feel when we make love. Wanna write you a sexy poem, make you feel it down below to the heavens above. Wanna
Yeah, so I was trying to find, there was a video of some stupid ass crazy Caucasian painting over the Black Lives mural on the streets of New York. Here it is right here. Done found it. Watch this video and watch what they say about the Nazis that put kids in cages. I'm just gonna play the whole thing, and I'm gonna
the narrative of police brutality.
I'm gonna heat up my burrito and maybe I'm gonna give me another beer. I'm just gonna play this video. Listen to what this fucking crazy, sick, psycho, demented, evil ass, fucked in the head, Caucasian. I guess she's a woman. What she says about kids in cages. And tell me we're not living in Nazi America. This is what happened in Germany. You denied, and some of them people still deny it. You got a rosy picture about Germany, America, and the world. Y'all got a rosy ass picture about the goddamn Germans, that these Germans, that they got over it and they dealt with it and they can deal with it and talk about it and all that shit. I understand that Germany is not the same as it was back then. I understand that y'all dealt with y'all's Nazi problem slightly differently than we did here in America. However, y'all want to paint a picture like this shit happened, 60 years ago? 80 years ago? Damn, it's been a long time. It's been 80 years? It's 2020. But see, y'all want to act like we had this whole party, a whole country of Nazis, basically. And y'all realized it was wrong. And now, man, get the fuck out of here. Most of them motherfuckers, they didn't change their beliefs. They just went underground. Most of them are over here now. There's still a shitload of them over there in Germany and all across Europe and all in Brazil, Chile, Argentina, smack dab in the goddamn government, CIA, IBM, NASA. That's where all your goddamn Nazis are, as well as still in fucking Germany. Don't try to play this bullshit like we just miraculously changed our hearts. Yeah, okay. All right, give me another beer, get something to eat. I'm gonna play this video for y'all. I hope the audio is okay. I don't think anybody's watching now because it's my first live, but I think I'm gonna start doing this because it's more efficient mainly, and I need to get information out. I'm trying to build my subscriber base and get more information out and do more of these videos, and I'm gonna try to do stuff like this where I'm just streaming and just talking, but I'm also do like where it's more to the point, where you can just check me out for 10-15 minutes and get what you need to know. So that, stand by for all that. That's what the plan is. All right, so check this shit out. Like I said, listen to what she says. Listen to this one right here in the red shirt with the flag on it. Stupid ass fucking Caucasian woman. And look, you think I'm generalizing because I say Caucasian? But I'm telling you, some of the Caucasians can be honest and truthful with their history, and they can deal with it. But the Caucasian has a history that dominates and dictates their present. And if you want to deny that, you deny it at your peril.
No, I'm fucking curious.
What are you doing?
What is wrong with you?
We're sick of this narrative, that's what's wrong.
The narrative of
Yeah, the narrative of police brutality,
There
the
is
narrative of
police brutality.
oppression, the narrative of racism. It's a lie.
America's great.
It's a lie.
This is racist. What you're doing.
This is racism is what it is. That's what it is. There is no oppression. There is no racism. It's a leftist lie. It's a lie from the media, the liberal left.
You can't be that stupid, can you?
No, but you can be.
No, I'm not actually. You are the idiot in the scenario.
Keep this shit in fucking New York. This is not happening in my town. Go get my other can of paint. I got plenty. Don't you got something better than this back there?
Get
52701B1.
the fuck out of here. What are you doing? No one wants you here.
No one wants you here.
Oh, what the fuck
No one wants Black Lives Matter here. I said no one wants Black Lives Matter here. That's what I said.
Oh, really?
All lives matter, you fucking punk. Now you want to kick my face? Fucking keep America's raging, that's right. Why don't you guys learn about history? The Emancipation Proclamation Act. Yeah, that's right. Abraham Lincoln. You're only free because of our forefathers.
Fucking colonizer. You're not fucking from America. You're a fucking colonizer. Your ancestors are from here. So don't tell
You know
me
what?
Your ancestors are fucking colonizers.
You don't know nothing.
No, I'm sorry. So there's a group of people in the courthouse.
Shut the fuck up, bitch! What's up? Nobody asked you! Pull up, bitch! Nobody asked you either!
Yeah, pull up.
Pull up!
Pull up, punk. You want some?
Becky, you got something to say? Becky, what's up? I'm right here. Shut up, Karen!
Fuck out of here.
Karen, you're the white bitch here. I'm melanated, bro.
Yeah.
I'm fucking melanated. I'm fucking from this ass, bitch. What's good? Native. Native.
I don't give a fuck who
Karen.
you are.
Fucking Becky.
You know what? All lives matter, dude. I ain't fucking down for this bullshit in our town.
lives matter, no lives
Yeah, all lives matter.
That's all the kids that are locked up in
All lives matter, that's right.
Shut the fuck up with that locked up in cages. You're fucking wrong, lady. What's good then? You got something to say? What's good then? I will beat your ass.
This is not good.
How is it not good?
You are not good.
You know what's not good? Kids in fucking cages right now. That's
Shut
not
the fuck
good.
up. That's not happening, okay?
Yes, it is. You are,
It's
bitch.
not happening. Bitch, I will smack the fuck out of you.
You know what?
It's not happening.
The only reason why you're crying, why people cry police brutality, people are resisting arrest. Don't have a run-in with the law and don't resist arrest. It won't be a problem.
That's not what's happening. They literally kneeled on that poor black man's fucking
Yeah, no, nobody agrees with that. I don't agree with that either. That was wrong.
Okay, so then?
That was
then
wrong.
Why are you painting over Black Lives Matter if you said that was wrong?
All
That's the
lives
whole
matter.
point.
No,
All
they
lives
don't.
matter.
Until Black Lives Matter, all lives don't matter.
All lives do.
No, they don't.
They don't?
Not until
Why don't all lives matter?
Black
I
lives
think your life matters just as much as mine.
You don't even
Then why are you painting over it?
Becky, get the fuck out of here. You really worried about something? Go get the fucking kids out of those cages. If you really want to.
It's not happening, okay?
It's not happening. It's not happening.
Change the channel.
They're in cages.
Change the channel to what?
That's what you
Change the channel to what,
They're in
bitch?
fucking cages as we speak. Fuck your bucket. Fuck that shit. You want something?
That's not a protest, that's vandalism.
It's a protest.
This is
No, this is vandalism.
You
got the permits for it, bro. They have a permit.
Bust them. The city.
Talk to the
Where's
city.
your permit? Where's your fucking permit? Fucking Karen.
She said twice. She said, straight up, she said, what about kids in cages? And that Caucasian said, that's not happening. Change the channel. Actually, I'm not sure if change the channel came from I'm not sure which side that came from, because it would apply to the Caucasians also. They need to change the damn channel. But she said it again. She said it twice about kids in cages, and that woman was mainly quiet. The one painting, the Caucasian woman, was mostly quiet, but she spoke up loud as fuck to say that that's not happening. Tell me these people are not sick. I'm not saying they are. Tell me what's wrong with Caucasian people. And I'm not trying to be like racist or mean, but maybe if there's any Caucasians out there, what is wrong with y'all? Seriously, what the fuck is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Why do you say that shit is not happening? I can't even. I'm at the point where I'm still talking to white people. You see, I'm still doing it. I said just now, I said, if there's any white people listening, tell me what's wrong with y'all. What the fuck is going on in your skull? Where you say that that is not happening. And you know that this is what happened in Germany. You know this is what happened that caused so many people to die, both in the Holocaust and in fighting to end that. And y'all can sit there and stand there in broad fucking daylight and say, that's not happening. Man, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? You motherfuckers, look, I'm telling you, I might be cussing at your damn Caucasian ass. You better get used to it. Because I'm one of the last motherfuckers that's still talking to y'all. You know, I grew up skating, surfing, listening to rock music, playing guitar, all that kind of shit. I've known a lot of white people. I've been friends with white people. I surf with white people. When somebody like me begins to finally say, fuck y'all, you need to fix your fucking ass. Fix your fucking face. When this starts to happen, you need to listen. But I'm going to tell you, when I start being quiet and no longer talking to white people, you need to listen now. Because pretty soon, ain't gonna be no more motherfucking talking. And I'm not even talking about myself. I'm talking about you motherfuckers that have eyes. You better open them. If you still got ears, you better get the wax out of them. Because pretty soon, it's not going to be any more black people talking to any more white people. I'm not telling you that it's a threat from me. I'm not telling you even that that's what I want to happen. I'm not saying that. I'm just telling you that's what time it is. Listen up. All right, this is my first live stream. It's been kind of long. It's been passionate. It's been emotional. It's it's been this and that. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it. I hope the audio worked out. I hope the video, and I hope everything worked out. This was really just supposed to be kind of a test. But I think there's going to be more to follow. And also, like I said, I'm going to try to make these more of a condensed, more usable, more practical format to where you can actually get some news, a little bit of opinion, but mostly just some news. Get in and get out and know what you need to know for the day. I'm going to start doing those, and it'll be a little different format. Anyway, appreciate anybody that's out there listening. White folks, you need to listen up. Black folks, you know what you need to do. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and sign out. Good night, all the good people of the world. Try to be good and try to be just a little bit more good, because we really are running out of time. I still say it don't have to be this way, but at this point I don't see how Humpty Dumpty can be put back together again. But at least if there's still some people talking about, is it possible to put Humpty Dumpty back together again, then at least they're still talking about it. But pretty soon everybody's gonna say that it cannot be put back together. And once everybody says that it cannot be put back together, it's only a few more options. There's only so much choice you have after that. At some point, nature takes over. You lose choice. If a lion is chasing you, you don't have choice. Your body, your brain stem takes over. And we're almost there, people. So anyway, like I said, I'm signing off. If you watched this, thanks for watching. If you leave a comment, please, thanks for leaving a comment. Please leave me, whether you love it or hate it, I don't give a damn. I'm not scared of criticism. So anyway, like I said, that's it. Good night, y'all. Listen up.